What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Three young men bond together to escape violent families in their Rust Belt hometown. As they face adult responsibilities, unexpected revelations threaten their decade-long friendship. Minding the Gap. Documentary. I recommend it.
Great movie, great documentary. I actually thought it was good. Starting out, I didn't know anything about it. I heard it mentioned on a podcast that it was good. It's on Hulu. I have access to Hulu, so I decided to watch it. And going into it, I thought it was a mockumentary. Not a mockumentary, but like a found footage film but told from the viewpoint of, a kid that films skateboarding. And then as it goes, like, oh, this is actually a documentary. This isn't scripted. Because it starts out like it's one of those documentaries that's so good that it feels like it's a scripted thing because it's, the story's so rich. And it's about this kid. Well, Bing Liu is the director, one of the kids, who films him and his friends who are skateboarders out in, I think, like Illinois or something like that. Somewhere out in the Midwest, where it's like poor and people are moving out. And I think it's like a suburb of Chicago. And like a couple of them moved to Denver. But it's about these three kids and just growing up with shitty parents that, like, the old school. There's a line in this where it's like, did you grow up in a rough household? And it's like, well, or did you get beaten? It's like, well, I get is called discipline back then. Today it's called child abuse. It's like humanity is kind of understanding how bad we are to certain things, and it seems like culturally we're trying to stop being so bad in so many ways. And one of those things is how we raise kids. And these kids were raised in just horrible families, but they became friends through skateboarding, and they fell in love with skateboarding, and skateboarding became kind of the thing that helped keep them alive, keep them sane, to the best of its ability. It was like the only thing in their life to cope. For me, growing up, I wasn't beaten as a kid, but it was more of just a lack of kind of anything. I was pretty much, I'm an only child, and spent a lot of time alone. Let's just say that. But for me, basketball was the thing where I made friends. In school, that's how I made all of my friends in school, was playing basketball. I'd bring a basketball to school to play before school, during lunch. I just walk around with a basketball and a portfolio on the other hand and a backpack, and I didn't know why I got picked on all the time. But these kids going through definitely a lot more thing. This is like a heavy documentary, but it's really good too because you get to see the drama through them. You get to see them grow as kids into like young adults, and see where they are today and see how they've kind of evolved into the people that they've evolved into. You also get to see how the problems that they have and have had growing up to deal with, just coping with different things and just having a lot of anger from when you're a childhood and being able to process that as an adult versus just trying to kill yourself slowly. But yeah, Minding the Gap. It's a great documentary. If you have Hulu, I highly recommend checking it out. It's just one of the things that I love about documentaries that is so hard to get a lot of the times with movies, because movies, especially now, are just regurgitated, reboots, remakes, comic book stuff, or superhero movies, just whatever franchise. Everything's got to be a universe. But with documentaries, you get super original stories. And that's where some movies get made. Like there's documentaries that are made and it gets a lot of buzz, and then they make a movie based on a documentary, and not necessarily based on a documentary, but based on the same thing the documentary was based on, like Dogtown and Z-Boys. The documentaries, by far, I don't even know if I've seen the movie, but I can't imagine the movie's any good comparatively. But I could see this being turned into a movie. It's like Basketball Diaries, but with skateboarding in some ways. But actually, in a lot of ways, it's really good. And fall in love with these characters. I relate to all these characters in a lot of ways. And it reminded me of my ragtag group of friends, because we were all nerds. We were all outcasts in high school. Like most of us were in art class. Like one or two of us tried out and was decent at trying out for basketball, like organized basketball. But when it came to playing on the playground, it was hard. We played hard and we beat fucking everybody. We owned the courts. So for me, this documentary touched me deep, gave me the feels. So I'm recommending it to you on this show. It's rated really well. But if you're into documentaries and you're looking for something new, go check out Minding the Gap on Hulu. I'm sure you can rent it or buy it on iTunes, Amazon, all those things. But it's a great documentary, and I highly recommend you check it out. So that's it, everybody, for this episode. Go up top. Links are up top to my website, inspireddisorder.com. You can check out my artwork and everything else that I do right there. Click on the link. Be happy. Join the fun. And that's it, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great week. Till next time. Peace out.